Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate you, man. As you can tell, this is Prattville. This is my hometown where I grew up. They're going to miss me. They're going to act this way the entire time. Love y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate it. Very important what Adam said. Make sure we're obeying the rules this weekend. We don't do anything to put anybody in danger. You don't do anything to embarrass yourself, your parish, or the Catholic faith, okay? They know we are different by the way we live our lives, that we are Catholic based on the way we live our lives, that we are respectful to others. So make sure we're doing that throughout the weekend, especially to everybody else that's staying here on vacation, okay? All right. I got ordained a priest about 18 months ago, and it has been an outstanding 18 months. I love being a priest so much, working with everybody, especially you and our youth. I really do have such great hope for all of you because I'm around you all the time and I see your devotion. I see your struggles as well, but more importantly, I see your character. I see you're wanting to be holy. And very often we have a world that wants to hold us down, that wants to keep us from ascending the mountain. That's our theme this weekend, to rise, to ascend, to climb the mountain. And there's a lot in the world that wants to hold you down. One of it being Satan himself, that wants to keep you from ascending to the heights of God. And we all have sin that holds us back, holds us down. It keeps us from being who we are created to be. And I know, growing up, I was terrified of going to confession like everybody. You know, get that nervous feeling when you had to go to confession. Like, oh, I have to go pour myself out, the deepest, darkest parts of my life. But that's where Satan wants to keep us. At the base of a mountain, in the valleys, keep us in our sin. If you were to sit in my seat, or any priest in here, for 18 months, I probably heard confession over 10 hours this week alone. Several hours at McGill-Tulin and their all-school mass, for the Light is On With You campaign at St. Dominic, at Corpus Christi Parish last night for the men's conferences. If you were to sit in my seat, you would understand how unremarkable sin really is. We have a fear of pouring ourselves out, afraid what somebody's going to think of us. If you ask every priest here that hears confessions, you will see how unremarkable it is. Okay? So don't be afraid. Never be afraid to pour out yourself before God. When you pour out yourself before God, seeking God's mercy, He will come to help us ascend. And that's the great gift that is going to confession. This sacrament of reconciliation, to be reconciled with God, so that we may ascend to the mountain, to the heights of God, to be with Him, not afraid of our own sinfulness, but being reconciled with that. You know, I get to say, Father, it's impossible. People don't understand. If I were to, what kind of stuff do you hear? I've heard everything. You know what it's like to sit in our chair as a priest and hear it? Best example I can give. Father, do you remember anything you hear in the confession? I don't know. If you were a trash man, maybe you can recall the most filthy piece of trash you ever encountered. But pretty much what we do is gather your trash with everybody else's. It's pretty unremarkable. You just deal with it all the time. We take it, put it into one big bag, and take it out to a curb and say, God, pick it up, haul it off. But do we remember? No. Holiness, repentance, sainthood is much more memorable than any sin. And I promise you that from the bottom of my heart. Seek to become saints. first begins by dropping. Before you can climb, you got to drop the weight. You wouldn't dare climb a mountain or scale a skyscraper on the side wearing hundreds and hundreds of pounds of weights on you. You drop it off first, and then you can start to ascend. So we're going to have adoration here in a few minutes. Give a nice attitude of prayerfulness in this room, of quietness, be low key. Please spend some time in prayer. I don't know how many priests we have here. I think we have well over 15. So if you haven't had a chance or you haven't taken advantage of the sacrament of reconciliation, this will be a perfect time for you. They'll give you some directions of where we're going to be. But again, drop off what's holding you down and start the ascension process to become safe.